Welcome back to United Rogue Overwatch. We're here with Panda in the caster booth for Overwatch Season 7, Week 6, for Baltimore
Yeah.
versus Dallas.
Hello, hello. I'm super excited to see this matchup. As many of you guys know, I was the GM of Dallas Vanguard for like 5 seasons. Baltimore Kraken is GM'd by one of the players on Dallas one of those seasons. So I'm super excited to see how this outcome is going to be. Obviously, I have a little bit of a caster bias here, rooting for the Dallas Vanguard. What are you expecting to get out of this, Helios?
Baltimore can't make finals or playoffs at this point. So if you're Baltimore, you just kind of have to screw up Dallas's game.
Yeah, and honestly, that is a really solid strategy. We've seen it happen many times in the past here at UR Overwatch, but unfortunate for Baltimore. But I'm sure they can shake some things up here today.
I mean, let's hope, but we are going to Ilios.
Yeah, it seems to be a common first map pick here. Ilios, honestly, it is. It's a map. I don't know how I feel about it, especially well. A lot of my former years of playing Overwatch has been crying to the well.
We are having a little bit of ban things in chat with Log is saying ban May and then changing back to ban Ramatra. I don't like the Ramatra ban.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's a smart idea. I don't feel like Ram is like he's just kind of a versatile pick overall, I guess, but that's not really something you want to ban on Ilios, I'd assume.
Yeah. And Baltimore are choosing to ban Tracer. I prefer that ban. I think that ban is a lot stronger. Tracer is very, very good on Ilios. Very mobile, very good dive hero. I think banning Tracer here makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that Tracer ban, super smart on the part of Baltimore there. Let's see how that plays out for them. Looks like should be starting to get in soon then with all the bans set up and all the map picks. What do you think the score is going to be this time around, Helios?
I don't know. I mean, it could go either way. I think Dallas is the better team, but I think Baltimore has a chance to maybe take a couple maps. So I think Dallas are going to win this in the end, but I'm not sure that it's going to be a clean 3-0.
Yeah, I'm kind of expecting like a 3-1 here on obviously a Dallas victory. For those reasons. Again, a little bit of caster bias on my part.
Just a little.
But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, just a little bit. We'll find out how much that bias actually matters here in a few minutes when the team's set up. Which they are taking their time. Not that that's not allowed.
They're taking their sweet time. I mean, it's not as bad as Havana, who just didn't choose for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. That would also be kind of dangerous.
And we're gonna have to wait. So,
yeah, we have a little bit of a bathroom break right before we're starting here. You know, before you go on a long trip, on this long journey here, it's smart to take a second, go to the bathroom. You know, you don't want to be driving down that Dallas v. Baltimore highway and, you know, almost shitting your pants.
but isn't it easier to just go before?
I mean, well, that's what's happening. He's going right before, right?
I know. I mean,
after
the game
stream started. After the stream started, but it is happening.
Arunas with the revoke his bathroom pass. I don't think we can do that. I don't think we can revoke the bathroom pass.
Unfortunately, probably not. That doesn't seem like something I'm allowed to do. People are humans. Humans have to go to the bathrooms. You know, there's a reason bathrooms exist. Actually, most living creatures have some form of going to the bathroom.
Yeah,
We just have a more sophisticated way of doing it.
it's mainly because of our gastrointestinal tract, but that's getting a little nerdy for this broadcast.
Well, if you're here and waiting just like us, it's gonna pop out this little ad. Just if you guys know, if you guys have Amazon Prime, you guys have Twitch Prime. And with Twitch Prime, you can be subbing to our channel. You'll be skipping the ads, get right to the action at your Overwatch. Good. Pop those subs in.
Not the product placement.
And if you want to support UR even more, you can go to linktr.ee/United Rogue merch, where you could buy all the merch for every single United Rogue team in there. And yeah, I'm currently wearing my United Rogue shirt. My girlfriend's sitting on my bed in the background, not that I have my camera on, watching this game, and she will confirm.
Can we get your girlfriend on the mic to confirm that you are actually wearing UR merch?
She is in fact wearing UR merch.
That's fantastic. Okay, and we
On
are
mic,
starting out
you
on
heard it.
Well. Well has an interesting layout.
Okay. Indeed. I don't know why my Overwatch isn't making any noise, but that's an issue for later me to figure out. So we're just gonna look at here. We got Johan running the tank for Dallas, Saucepan running the tank for Baltimore over here.
I mean, Farah, definitely not the best pick on Well, but the Farah is definitely strong on this map. We are seeing a pretty much complete mirror outside of the tank with Lucio Fury backline, and Baltimore are going to take Cage.
Yeah, that's a strong start from Baltimore there.
However,
unfortunately, Johan getting the first pick on a tank, that's not the first person you want to see go down. Johan looking like a full charge there, just mowing through Baltimore.
You really don't want to play the Queen into the Czar. She can cleanse your bleeds with those bubbles. It's just overall not a good time. And we are going to see Saucepan move over to that Zarya mirror, which is much stronger in this Zarya, into Czar.
Yeah, that Queen wasn't really working out. They knew pretty much instantly. Smart on the part of Baltimore to make that swap there. Dallas getting 20% on the point right now. Baltimore making a push for it.
As Dallas creep up to that 30% mark, Baltimore are starting to flip. But Arunas gets caught out. That is Farah, and all air pressure out for Baltimore. And flipping is going to be a lot harder, especially when your Kiri dies.
Yeah, unfortunately, looks like a solid team wipe. And Dallas remain hold of the point there. Got really close, though.
And I just heard from chat that we have turned into robots, which is unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate. Hopefully that
clears up soon.
Yeah. It always happens when Doge streams, apparently, but it's unknown why. Unfortunate.
A supposed production has tried to fix it, but we just have not been able to. And Saucepan gets mystery picked.
Oh, that was almost a solid high noon out of Revolve, but shot down by Lemon.
Solo Barrage, I know you want to.
Looking at marked up, could be doing it, and not a solo barrage, but
there is a barrage coming out in this round, and Baltimore don't even have a chance to use Kitsune Rush.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was straight up 100% to 0. Very quick round. Dallas victory there.
And we are going to Ruins next. Much stronger for Farah and Widow. Much not as strong for Cass. Those long
Mhm.
sight lines, even after the buff, they really hurt Cass's damage. And the Mei, I don't think is going to get a lot of value into the Pharah Widow.
Yeah, probably not, but we're just gonna hope for the best for Baltimore there. Let's see if they make some swaps like really soon.
I mean, if you're Baltimore, this matchup it can go either way. So playing as soon as you see those Pharah rockets, but they are gonna take the interior room with the backside of point. Try to focus Marked Up on that main pillar.
Yeah, Baltimore is going on the side here, trying to get the high ground. Not that there's much on this map here.
Although you are getting super spammed from this Pharah, and your Cass cannot really do a lot. Cass is stronger into Pharah, but not if she's playing range.
That's exactly what Marked Up is doing here. Unfortunately, going down eventually, but it doesn't seem to matter as Dallas then takes out 3 of Baltimore's roster, forcing them to retreat.
We are approaching a barrage. However, Marked Up has chosen the shield perk, which has caused some issues for them in the past. That barrage while moving perk, it just adds so much more survivability during your ult. And the ult is a lot of what Pharah can do, along with the spam. So, I mean, we're really just... We might see a barrage coming out this fight, but who knows? They might combine it with Graviton Surge.
It looks like that's what's planning
They
out
are.
here. Marked Up going up above the Baltimore team with the bubble, barraging, getting nobody.
That barrage perk would have been really useful there. Unfortunately, it's just not in the cards.
Indeed. Baltimore is starting to gain some traction here. Starting to push up. Dallas is forced to retreat, at least just a little bit here. As Baltimore takes the point again.
But remember, it is still 20 to 60.
Yeah.
And you do kill the Lucio through the bell. And it's just going to be another flip.
Yeah, Baltimore is not really able to get their foot firmly standing there.
I mean, they have flashes, but it's definitely a struggle. And that Pharah is just so oppressive, even with that, even with the Cass. But you do have 5 ults on the side of Baltimore. You really can't waste them.
As we see Revolve going for a high noon there with Fran's Kitsune Rush. It looks like it's going to be another flip for Baltimore as 4 of Dallas go down.
As Dallas creeps up into the 90%, and you still have 3 ults if you're Baltimore, compared to only 2 on the side of Dallas.
Yeah, Baltimore definitely looks like they're in the stronger position here. This time they have their whole team ready to defend the point. I don't think that's been the case for the last few times that they've had control.
No. And Lemon is going to take that off angle, but get forced off by Clementine. And that Blizzard is going to kill Johan.
Yeah, also creates a nice space for them, buying some extra time. Dallas can't really go straight through a Blizzard.
And Baltimore climbing up into the 70s.
Yeah, both teams get the reset here.
And Lemon is going to switch over to Ashe. Much better into Brawl than Widow is. Not as squishy.
Indeed.
Less burst, though. So, taking that off angle forces Saucepan out. And forces the beat, too. Huge dynamite. Gets Fran. Gets Arena too.
Even fight so far. It's now down to pure skill. And Saucepan goes down. Dallas getting the flip. Baltimore has one more push before
I don't
this
think they get a
map
touch.
is over.
I don't think they get a touch. They
And
don't.
you're right. They're almost there, literally crossing the border as it happens. Unfortunately, just a millisecond too late. Dallas taking home the victory for the first map.
Lemon with one fight on Ashe, securing that play of the game. That Ashe really turned that fight.
It really did. Getting at least assist credit for 3 of those kills there. Changed pretty much everything there.
Oh yeah. I mean, it turned that final fight when they were at an ultimate disadvantage.
But Baltimore, after that first sub map there, they're starting to get their foot deeper into the pool, giving a little bit of a stronger showing. Do you think they have a chance in map 2?
They do. They just need to play more aggressive. Even if they kite ults, I think it's still worth forcing something.
Indeed, indeed. You know, it's not only playing aggressive, it's playing aggressive together. I think that is something that they're lacking in right now. A lot of their aggression plays has been like one-off, like one person chasing like a team of 3, and it's not really working out for them there.
Or they only go aggressive with Kitsune Rush. Which...
Oh, true, yeah.
And we are going to Rialto. I think this is dangerous if you're Baltimore.
I think I have to agree with that. Rialto, honestly, most escort maps are really dangerous maps, especially when you're the underdog.
I mean, yeah,
the matchup.
It's also just because they're pretty much all of them are sniper maps. Because what you have Rialto, Havana, Gibraltar, Root. The only one that isn't a sniper map is Root.
Root, yeah.
So
yeah, maybe you could probably get around Gibraltar after the second point.
You can probably
that's after pushing second point.
Yeah. I mean, third is still very difficult. In the previous match that Ruby has seen, we did see War get full held by Havana on the same corner on third point Gibraltar. So that third point is not a walk in the park by any means.
Oh no. But alas, they choose Rialto here. Honestly, first point, I don't think it's that bad with snipers, especially after you push the first corner.
Snipers are
maybe the second point is a little bad, but
snipers are worse or are better on first and third and worse on second. Second has a lot less open sightlines for you to play in, and so it's a lot easier to kill the Widow because there's also more cover. But we are going to see an Ashe ban from Baltimore, maybe stopping Lemon from maybe going on that comfort pick for Ashe, really damaging Dallas here.
Honestly, I feel like that is a better ban than a Widow ban.
I mean, you still want to ban Widow here, like no doubt. But because of the one
we'll see if
shot and the long
Dallas
sight lines, Dallas can't ban any DPS.
Oh, you're right. They can't.
So they have to ban a support or tank. What do you think they're gonna ban?
Honestly, maybe Ana. That's my little prediction here. No, knowing them, I think they know Fran as a good Ana player, and honestly, getting rid of antis would be very nice on their part. We can still see. And if not Ana, maybe Kiriko. Kiriko is still... Kiriko is just a great versatile support. I mean, there's like nothing There's nothing to put Kiriko down in my mind.
Yeah, and Dallas are going to end up banning Winston, unless they're
Oh.
joking. But
Well,
I
they
don't.
better not be because we put the graphic up. So
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a bad ban necessarily, but I don't think it's a great ban.
Well, that means you can't have a dive tank on your Widow. So
You'd prefer Diva here anyway.
well, that's true. That's true.
You'd prefer Diva or Sig.
See, the things I learned. I'm at most a like low tier plat player. I've been hard stuck gold for the past seasons or so of Overwatch.
Yes, I am a Ruby player, so I am very familiar with these teams because I have fought them both.
All right, we're starting to see the R's in the chat as we get going for map 2, Dallas versus Baltimore.
On Rialto, I'm not. I mean, Dallas get to decide side. So, I mean, we'll see, but I think they just forgot that they get to, yeah, they forgot. I think attacking is easier. Actually, defending is easier on Rialto, but I think if you're Dallas, you'd prefer attacking.
Yeah. Although, I think if the tradition has stayed, with Dallas typically defending first, you see how far you have to go, and then that way the match, in theory, could end quicker.
However,
they are going
the
to
mold.
Yeah,
they are
going to switch it up as I say that.
Oh.
That is weird. Why can't they change the names?
So we cannot change the names because Log gave Doge owner, but only Log can change them. And because he's no longer owner, he can't change them back.
I love how Overwatch is kind of bad like that sometimes. Why do teams keep taking 5 ever between maps?
Good question, Cool.
Yeah,
We're asking that same thing.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day it was a lot more simpler. There wasn't a lot of like earlier map stuff, but now it kind of is. I don't know if you were reading chat, Doge, but give server owner to Log and potentially he can change the names again. Yeah.
Yes,
As we go on this technical difficulty, little extra break, do want to remind you to sub with Twitch Prime.
Plugging.
If you got it.
Again.
Plugin. I don't know if you guys see it, but on my Twitch stream, right under where it says United Rogue Overwatch, there's a big ad from Twitch that says save big on gift sub bundles. So if you wanted to start a little gift sub bundle going on, save big on that for like 2 more days.
I do see that. However, I will respectfully decline.
In fact, I'm going to continue my Twitch Prime sub right now. Wait. I have to wait for that to expire. I have 2 more days before it expires. 2 days, you'll see me resub with my Twitch Prime. Let's see.
Teams
I could probably do that on Sunday. All right. Yeah. If those the teams are switched on the little thingy on the top.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. As we get that fixed, we're starting up here at Rialto. Preparing the defenses.
And cool, adding Rico saying gift bundle time.
Hey Rico, if you're here,
It's
time, dude.
Rico. Wanu has to be trolling us with the Lifeweaver and Spawn.
You know, that is something that I would do as well. Way back in the day when Link was the owner. His main thing was he hates Junkrat, and I would pick Junkrat and Spawn just to piss him off. But the countdown ended, and Wano's still on that Lifeweaver here. So it is not a
We're
prank.
going out of Spawn with the Lifeweaver. Is this worse than the time War ran Zen Mercy on Lijiang? This might be worse.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
No, 'cause
that's something hard. That's kind of hard to top.
Yeah.
But marked up.
We are going to
getting
see
a kill
Dallas get progress with Juno Lifeweaver.
You know, Lemon going the Widow here, but being a very aggressive Widow. Kind of going right in their face.
Widow is very strong on this map. But Lemon is going to fall low due to poke, but Fran is going to get super caught. And Wanu is standing still, having maybe some technical difficulties.
Unfortunate, or maybe just like wanted to die to be sad faster. Either or. That's a pretty far first push.
I mean, you make it
Considering
past
how-
the corner.
Yeah, first two corners, nevertheless.
I mean, the real struggle is getting it past this corner. Because
Yeah.
once you get past this corner, you can really set up this thing called a wall of death, where you just can't pass a certain line of sight. It's really hard to break, but it looks like Dallas or Baltimore aren't going to be doing that. And they're just
Been
going to
stuck here for a little while.
However, few kills are traded.
All up to Dallas
And
here.
Arunos,
Only
with the high
couple-
noon on height, is going to stagger themselves, though.
That might have been worth it for them by a few extra seconds.
We still are going
Find
to
out.
see the Lifeweaver out of Wanu.
I mean, it hasn't failed them yet.
It failed them for a couple fights.
But as we
However,
see, multiple ults coming out. Blizzard.
then the
beat.
Annihilation. And we did see the Orbital Ray, though.
Yeah, Baltimore can't afford to lose this. They are very well aware of that.
I mean,
Doing
you
everything
have
they can.
Nano, but
I mean, you don't have any other ult to pair it with either.
no, you
At
don't.
this point, it's just a saving ult. As Dallas get a few with Lemon's ult there.
And Saucepan is resetting.
Good to see you.
Going into their spawn is a choice. Lemon Ints.
Almost gets out of there alive too. Not quite though. Clementine getting the boop kill there.
And Johan
Johan
getting
in the
caught out
process.
in the back.
Now going through the bridge.
This point is much more dangerous if you're Baltimore. That Pharah can just fly over certain parts of the roof and barrage your entire backline.
This looks like what Dallas is trying to do. Marked up, going up into that second story of the building.
He's gonna spot Arunos.
And solo
it's gonna
barrages
solo
them.
ult. With the teabag right after. Arunos is probably not very happy after that.
Oh, definitely not. If I ever got solo ulted like that, I would be pretty upset too.
They also hit the tech, which is the concussive implosion into the barrage.
That is pretty crazy. But now it feels like Dallas is the one defending here, as Baltimore's trying to push through their wall to get to the payload. Finally able to do so. Dallas retreating now.
Marked up spamming a little more. One of the better parts to Pharah. But Arunos gets super caught.
Just under a minute and a half remaining. Dallas about halfway through the second point here. We got ult coming out of Lemon.
Both teams have a lot of ults. High Noon forcing Marked Up out, and Blizzard to secure the kill onto Johan. Or they just don't even kill Johan and just try to chase Marked Up.
Yeah. Definitely a little bit of a Q fest here. As Annihilation comes out, Whole Hog came out, Tree of Life came out.
And they're all off the map.
Yeah. Whole Hog definitely getting some points there.
That was a very expensive fight if you're Baltimore. You used 3 ults for really nothing. And now you're just left with B and slightly over halfway to Nano.
On the bright side for them, they did get 3 ults out of Dallas as well. But it's not like that matters much, as Lemon is already halfway back to that ult.
Yeah, and Wanu is going to be fairly close soon. Plus...
Ooh.
And he
marked up
too close to the ground. Did it too close to the ground. Ended up dying for it. Rightfully so.
Johan now going in with Lemon to their spawn. Basically
And
just
Dallas
blocking the path out.
And Dallas are going to get it to this final court area. This is one of the harder chokes to break through. So getting here without a fight is really important.
They have almost a clear path ahead of them. They need to
that
win one more fight.
NanoRam is going to take out Johan, forcing a full-on retreat. However, Lemon is just going to find everyone in their backline. As Fran gets super isolated, and wow. Dallas are going to finish with a 42-second time bank. Let's see if Baltimore can beat that.
Yeah. Honestly, for how quickly some of these fights went, that is not a lot of time left on the clock for Dallas. Baltimore did a really good job overall holding them back.
Oh, yeah.
We see here Baltimore is gonna have to defend, or not defend, have to push through the pretty much scary Dallas defense, I would say.
That Hog Pharah Soj, I don't hate the Mercy into this.
Yeah, getting probably a pharmacy going on there.
I mean, if I had to guess,
enabling Marked Up even more. Has that ever gone wrong for Dallas? It
no.
doesn't feel like it. It does not feel like it. So this will be dangerous for Baltimore.
I mean, if you're Wanu, you have 2 really good pockets here. You have the pharmacy and also the more dangerous Sojourn with the headshot on the rail.
just gonna seem like they're gonna have to get rid of this Mercy to push through anything.
Yeah.
As they antied the Hog there. Hog goes down.
I think if you're Log, you need to play Kiriko here. Maybe get out. Maybe Suzu that nade. But Wanyu just gets the res off. And it's like that fight didn't even happen.
As Baltimore just goes down 1, 2, 3.
Lemon and Marked Up are 50% to their ults. Arunas is the only one that can even match an ult, maybe.
It just goes back to that saying they need to get that Mercy down.
Arunas gets
as soon
off
as
the
possible.
map.
Oh! Before the push even starts, Baltimore gets wiped.
It's just kind of unlucky that Marked Up was sitting on that pixel angle.
He was waiting there.
And he's
new.
back on this pixel angle. But Baltimore are gonna go out onto the right.
In theory,
Well,
that
you
should
get-
help them more, but Lemon pops out the overclock, getting 2.
That bridge is not easy to cross when you have a Sojourn with overclock staring you down.
Yeah.
And Revolva's gonna get caught out with that Soj snare again. That is 2 kills for the Soj snare. I think the Sojourn snare has more kills than most of Baltimore.
That as much as I don't want to believe that, I kind of do believe that, and I feel bad. Like
I do too, but
it's something you learn really on to stay away from, you know. But
yeah,
if you can't, you just can't. These placements have been really good, and the gameplay overall from Lemon has been really good. Like just that last fight alone, I'm pretty sure Lemon got credit for all 5 kills.
And Revolve is gonna fall to that solo barrage, and Marked Up is listening to stream silently, going to take that moving barrage perk.
Fortunately, they did not pick that up last game, so they know better now.
Yeah. And no, I do not think Marked Up is actually watching stream. Just to make that very clear.
Yeah, we've got a minute remaining here. Baltimore still hasn't pushed more than like, what was that, 500 feet? 500 meters?
I think so.
Probably not even. Actually, not even. That's probably significantly less.
I can check.
There's a way to check. I forgot how to. But you see here, Dallas just having a grand old time here. Just walking around Baltimore spawn, pick them off one by one. Saucepan.
It's 115 feet that they push the cart.
Oh boy. Not far at all.
No.
Dallas's Mercy is down. They have a chance to get some distance here. They just have to win a few fights.
I mean, if you're Baltimore, this is kind of an embarrassing showing. However, Clementine does get Johan off the map.
Indeed, but these one-off picks don't seem to be like they're doing too much, as it's definitely a very panicked move from Baltimore right now, trying to get this cart over to the end of the first point.
And they are going to start gaining progress.
But what do they have to show for that progress, as they're already in overtime? They gotta get through the wall of death, as you say.
I mean, Marked Up has ult, but I don't think Wanu can get the resurrect off. And Baltimore are going to get it to first.
3 meters remaining, and they got it.
2.5 minutes left if you're Baltimore. That was just an insane clutch.
I have no idea what happened on Dallas's end for that to allow for that to happen.
Took a full fight. I don't
know. Lemon and Arnos going on Tracemirs here. Trying
The
to outflank
Genji
each other.
is stronger on this point specifically. More verticality. Less cover for Tracer to play behind.
Dang, that moving barrage perk is actually really good.
Yeah,
Getting ran with that.
See why we said to get that overshield.
Now the remainder of Baltimore's forces kind of just wait out here.
Card
As
is
Arnos
coming back to the
decides to
bridge.
go in and dies.
Yeah, I mean, Card is still rolling backwards. Maybe, and Log falls off the map. How do you do that? You're a Juno.
You literally fly. But I mean,
you get the trade, but like, how do you fall off the map as a Juno?
Dallas getting some picks here. Whole Hog coming out on the Doom alone in the overhead room there. Not doing much for them.
50 seconds left on the clock. Clementine out of position, but they can't exactly punish. And Arunas dies on point.
Ooh! Marked up with a pretty good shot there. But we got 3 ults coming up from the Baltimore side. Dallas has nothing to show for it right now. Despite that, Baltimore's hanging on to their ults. Arnos flies off the map.
Fran, getting hunted. You can't have your Curie die. And I think your Curie is dying with the rush. I don't think you get another fight here.
They got 10 seconds to save themselves here.
Yeah, I mean...
And they're all coming in one by one. Unfortunately, not able to stay
And you
alive
do
long
not
enough.
get another fight here.
Else. Taking map 2.
2-0.
Another victory for them.
2-0 if
Lemon?
you're Dallas here. And Lemon, really kind of key here.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the overclocks are great. A lot of just the railgun shots in general. Got so many kills throughout this map.
Yeah. I mean,
Think
especially
back to the
on
time.
third point, where Lemon just flanked and killed 4.
Oh my god, yes. Then that moment on the when Baltimore tried to cross the bridge.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Lemon just stood there, overclocked, and killed like pretty much the entire team. Plus an extra
Yeah.
person who tried to go back.
I mean, it's
Wasn't
just,
a strong showing for Baltimore there.
yeah, I mean, if you're Baltimore, you have to think, what map do we go to? And why is it Flashpoint?
You know, Flashpoint, not that bad of a choice. Is rough for them. Coming out to try to get a win after being down 2-0. That's a lot to ask for. All the momentum's going against you. You just have to bring yourself out of the dirt.
And they are going to Suravasa. Definitely, I would prefer going to New Drunk City here, but that's just me.
I'm also of that opinion. I like New Drunk City more than Suravasa. Flaming the chat if you want. I don't care.
I prefer Suravasa, but I think against Dallas, I think New Drunk City is stronger. Because New Drunk City is less open than a lot of Suravasa is. And it really forces the Pharah to play much more enclosed.
Yeah, I just like New Drunk City better. There's not really a reason. Evil pick or not. They chose Suravasa. That's the map they're more comfortable with. But unfortunately, that's also the map that pretty much every team in the league is more comfortable with.
I mean, besides, yeah. Actually, you're correct. I was thinking maybe Ottawa, but Ottawa is more comfortable on Suravasa.
Now going through these long wait times, as we talked about before.
They are locking their rosters. So
Baltimore has their ban in.
they're banning Wrecking Ball. Mainly because they see Log on the playing tank, and they know Log is a ball one trick. Forcing Log onto a character they're not as comfortable with.
Yeah, that log ball has been very dangerous for other teams, typically, specifically Washington, in the past. But
And
the ban
Dallas are banning Ana in response. Double target ban.
Yeah, I think that's fair. If they go for the ball, then they should be able to go for the Ana. Fair fight. But with the map pick there, and with the hero bans there, we can start to see some R's go out in the chat. We got
are
the
just
Prod
waiting
and
on
R, the Dal R.
And we're waiting for Baltimore.
You know, it is a rough time for Baltimore.
It
Like I
is.
said, pulling yourself out of the dirt. There's a lot of times where I, as a GM, would take the full 5 minutes in between the games and be like, "No, we gotta wait this out." Like,
I make production
Yes.
hate you.
yeah, that is true. Casters are there to cast and talk over the empty space. It is a rough job, though. That being said,
It's hard.
if you guys out there in the chat wanna help out with Prod, all you gotta do is like sign up.
I mean, Rico is gonna crash out due to Havana taking too long. Last Ruby game.
If they took, yeah, that's fair. I wanted to take a long time. Also, I don't know when it changed, but I just want to appreciate the production team out there. I really like this caster booth music.
Did you enjoy the 4 games on one day?
I I was gonna help out with that, and then it turns out I was working during that day, so
And you were also sick.
that too. I was also sick.
So
I do vaguely remember that. It's because I thought like there was a game like really early on, but and I joined VC, and they're like, "No, the game's in like 3 hours," and I was like, "Oh,
fuck.
like I can't be here in 3 hours."
My bad. God damn. Yeah.
But we finally get into Surabasa here. Game 3. Dallas has the advantage here. They're up 2-0.
This is match point if you're Dallas.
Baltimore has to do everything in their power to stop this. But are they strong enough to do so?
Akul is just advertising the casting.
Yeah, just like
Yes,
I said, if you want to sign up the cast and or be a broadcaster or anything like that, it's really easy. Honestly, just send cool individual a message, and we'll get you on that roster.
Maybe. I mean, there are some people on that just have not made their debut, and I will not be naming any names.
Yeah, some people are nervous. I get it, but it's a way to put yourself out there, you know. As they say in the Spider-Verse movie, it's a leap of faith.
And Baltimore
like a
are
leap of
going to
faith.
end onto, but Clementine dies.
Yeah, let's say just like the leap of faith that Clementine's taking there, get that first pick, not really working out for him though. Dallas is up 1 in this fight. Getting
And
the
Baltimore
initial
are
points.
just, they're so split. I mean, Arunas is super low, gets hunted, and Johan catching all of these kills. And
Indeed, marked up kind of playing the sniper role here with that Pharah. Been playing Pharah all game. all series. You'd think they'd be able to do something about it by now.
Cool. We're making you do your job because this is all volunteer work. We're making you do volunteer work, actually. You don't have to, but we're forcing you.
Exactly. That is what's happening here. As Baltimore tries to force themselves back onto the point.
And Arunas gets mystery picked while Baltimore just reset. But Wanu gets picked in response.
You know, at this point, 95% through. Not really worth going for the point.
Lemon
time
is
to
close.
try to reset.
And we are going to see either a palace or a ruins. And it is going to be ruins.
Wait, is it always either of those two after this?
No.
After
So
market?
the way you can figure it out is if spawn got moved up on either side.
Oh, I see, I see.
And so if it's palace or ruins, the the red team spawn gets moved up. But if it's gardens or temple, the blue team gets moved up.
Dang. See, these are the facts that they don't want you to know.
Yeah, it's just to keep a balance of equal time to get to the point. Unluckily, casters do not get to hear which point or see which point is next. So it is until Athena. But we are going to see a downpour, and in result, we are going to see an immortality field.
And that didn't really work out for them as marked up, getting the barrage through the immort, killing two.
With
Unfortunately,
Log
dying in the
still
process, but
alive.
A
Log
solid
was-
sacrifice.
Yeah. I mean, Log was just fully alive for that whole thing, and Lemon already has another pulse bomb. I think you need to pulse Bap here. You need to pulse Lucio or Bap. But Lucio is really hard to hit with the pulse bomb. But
He does it
Lucio
anyways.
dies to the pulse. It was on the
Pulse
ground.
was definitely on the ground, yeah. As we see Dallas pretty cleanly taking out this point here.
And
They only
this
got
is
one more to
match
go.
point again. If you're Baltimore, I mean, you catch Log, and it is directly across with Temple.
Not the position. Excuse me. This is not the position you want to be in.
If you're
As
Baltimore,
Baltimore, yeah.
I mean, Dallas always get here first. You have Wanu and Marked Up on point, making sure it is going to get capped before before Baltimore even step foot near it. However, they are going to get close due to the point unlocking, and nobody's on it.
I do want to point out that Baltimore has all of their ults beat coming out right now.
With rush and response, and then you have a amplification matrix and Torb ult
Pretty much
with
everything coming out at the same
annihilation
time.
being used. The only ult not used is High Noon.
I want you guys to go home and explain this to someone who doesn't know Overwatch.
I
that
just take a
scene.
screenshot. I just take a screenshot of that.
But Baltimore, after pressing Q, what, 4 times?
4 times, yes.
Yeah, getting
Finally getting
point
point
flip.
after the first time this match.
Yeah, it's the first time this match, pretty much. You see Dallas trying to go in, taking out the turret.
Marked Up is close to another barrage, and Johan is close to another beat, while they cannot match. And Baltimore just gets ran over on that high ground lane.
It's unfortunate, just the one pick, and Dallas can just drive straight through them.
I mean, yeah. If your Lucio is caught out of position, you have no speed to disengage or kite or even go aggressive. So your Ram just kind of has to sit there as a wall.
Dallas, 30%
Baltimore.
in.
Yeah. Approaching that 40% mark. Getting closer and closer to that 50% mark.
Oh, there's the moving barrage, getting a couple of them out of that.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
even
this
notice
is
it,
another
but
Baltimore reset.
indeed. You know, I didn't realize that Saucepan has switched over to Somber here, trying to get some sneak plays in. Not really working out for
Didn't
them though.
work. And as Dallas are approaching this 90% mark, Baltimore are going to be forced to give a little space, but I don't think you get a touch. I don't think Clementine can make it in time. However, Revolve made it in
Revolve.
time.
Barely making it there. Clementine
And it's just
trying to
a
beat, but
sweep.
gets Ajax. And
And
that
it is
is
now,
the end
it's a
for Baltimore.
3-0.
Dallas getting the W here as a clean sweep happens here on Baltimore. Lemon getting play of the game again.
Isn't this all 3 times?
Did Lemon play the Ash
Ilios, yeah.
and Ilios? Yeah, then I think Lemon got played the game for all three games. That's pretty cool. Good job to Lemon there. Honestly, kind of making an MVP move right there.
Yeah. I mean, if we could make MVPs for this match, it would absolutely be Lemon.
I mean, all the plays there that they gave, super strong, and usually getting multiple kills in most of the plays that they made.
Hmm. And Baltimore are slowly trickling out. Just customary.
Yeah, unfortunate for Baltimore, but they put on a good showing, especially in the first half.
Yeah.
After the first
Ilios.
little sub map on Ilios, like they got pretty close, almost taking a point off of Dallas there. Unfortunately,
Keyword.
not able to.
Almost.
Yeah, almost is unfortunately the word that puts them out of the playoff bracket. They almost made it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're Baltimore, I don't even know what you would even say to yourself at this point.
It's hard. Being out here playing competitively like this is hard. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, those are the outcomes that you can sometimes get.
Yeah.
But it is a big victory moment for Dallas here, securing another win to hopefully get them to a higher seeded position there in the playoff bracket.
I mean, you can only hope. This 3-0 against Baltimore does place you again above Baltimore in a lot of ways. Dallas was already better than Baltimore.
Yeah,
So
adding another win,
it's gonna take a
never
miracle.
hurts.
Yeah, it is going to take a miracle for Dallas to make playoffs, though.
It's true. Hopefully, we reach that miracle.
Let's hope.
But we'll see about all of that later. Thank you guys for joining us here with your Overwatch and this matchup with Dallas and Baltimore. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye. Have a good day.